What's going on, Falcons fans? Hope everyone is enjoying Victory Sunday, right? Atlanta knocking off Seattle on the road. This was a game not many people were looking forward to across the NFL landscape when it was Geno Smith welcoming Marcus Mariota, but it ended up being one of the most exciting games of the entire Sunday slate, especially for that 4:30-ish kickoff slate. So let's jump into our post-game show. Going to give you guys my takeaways and thoughts from this 27-23 win, where these were two teams that might this be a huge win when it comes towards the NFL draft in April, and the Falcons might have an extra win that keeps them a little bit further away from the number one overall pick. But all in all, it's kind of funny that Arthur Smith last week after the loss in LA said, "I'm not out here for fantasy football." And then it ended up being a complete fantasy football game, right? Cordarrelle Patterson was awesome. He just continues to be this running back that people week in continue to doubt as a legitimate running back, probably because he wears 84 and will never get over that mental hurdle of a running back being in the 80s. But he went over 100 yards on 11 carries for 1 touchdown. Kyle Pitts was great. Needed this game. Very happy to see Arthur Smith get Kyle Pitts more involved in this offensive game plan. Saw it from the get-go of the game, right off the jump, and throughout the game. And then Drake London is the best rookie wide receiver. I don't think that's much of an overreaction. He's the front runner to be the offensive rookie of the year. And if you're the Falcons going into this season, you weren't looking to hoist the Lombardi trophy realistically. You wanted to see Kyle Pitts be a top 5 tight end. Looked like that today. Drake London looked like a candidate for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's the front runner there. Try to have some continuity on defense between A.J. Terrell, who had some bad moments at times with DK Metcalf, and then Grady Jarrett came up with a huge sack at the end of the game. And then you want to see Desmond Ridder, and we'll talk about that in a little bit here. But all in all, the Falcons battled with Seattle. Defense really buckled down in the second half. But at the end of the day, this defense made a big play at the end of the game, coming up with an interception, sealing the win for ATL. So let's run through some stats here before we start breaking down the Desmond Ridder, Marcus Mariota conversation, because probably shame on me for this going this long without saying Mariota, who did not have a good game, in my opinion. That fumble was embarrassing. But on offense, run through Mariota, 386 yards, 207 through the air, 179 on the ground. Third down was a crisp 4 for 7 and 2 for 15 penalties. All in all, this was a very well orchestrated game for the Atlanta Falcons offense. Now, as for the Seahawks and what the Falcons defense went up against, they were gassed through the air. But it was a bit of bend, don't break. They made some plays and they got closer to the red zone, 420 yards. Geno Smith continues to look like a way better quarterback than anyone expected. 308 for him, 112 on the ground. Falcons defense is still lacking a bit of a DNA, right, of what is this defense going forward? What do they want to be the foundation and the cornerstones? But if you can turn out some wins in these 50-50 games where it's going to be close and it's not the highest of competitor teams out there, you take the wins, right? So let's talk about Drake London to start things off here, okay? So Drake London, 6 targets, 3 receptions, 2 straight games with a touchdown, and I loved this touchdown today because it was not kind of blown coverage, open in the back of the end zone. No, the guy fought from the 5-yard line, was spinning his way towards the end zone, and punched it through. And then you get to Kyle Pitts, who was MIA last week. Didn't get a target. They made sure that would not be a repeat this week. 8 targets, 5 receptions, 87 yards. But maybe the biggest question coming out of this game, not grade the Falcons or anything like that, is what to do at quarterback. Do you continue with Marcus Mariota? Or do you roll with Desmond Ridder? Give the rookie a shot. We've had some chat sports hosts come on the channel and whatnot, so you've gotten some different opinions and takes. I think after 3 weeks, you've seen a decent enough of Marcus Mariota to know what you have in him. And that is, he's probably not the 32nd best quarterback in the NFL right now, but he's not the long-term solution. And if he's going to have mind-boggling fumbles in the fourth quarter where he can't deliver a simple read option handoff or hold on to it, maybe it's a good time to go look at the rookie and see what you have in the former Cincinnati Bearcat. But I'll let you guys weigh in. Should the Falcons turn things over to Desmond Ridder going into week 4? Simple Y for yes or N for no. Curious what you guys have to say on this one. All right, moving on here. Some more takeaways I had from this game. By the way, Falcons get set to take on the Browns next week. That's going to be a fun matchup on Sunday as Cleveland's offense has been rocking and rolling with Jacoby Brissett. But Cordarrelle Patterson, he's just a unicorn. I know we call Kyle Pitts a unicorn, but don't sleep on 84, continuing week in and week out to find the fountain of youth at the end of his career and really hit the ground running with Atlanta. Over 100 yards. He has been off to a phenomenal start. And this Falcons offensive line is not a finished product, but Patterson has broken off some huge runs for Atlanta. Mariota, though. 11 for 18, 214 yards, 1 touchdown to London, an interception, a fumble. The turnovers for Mariota have been nauseating. There are 2 types of interceptions, in my opinion. There are interceptions where you made the right decision, you just didn't execute the throw. And then there's, you didn't make the right decision at all, and you didn't read the defense. It's okay to have the first one because you can teach that in coaching of, hey, you got the arm talent, we just got to get the defense, we just got to get you reading the defense down better. The issue is Mariota has both types of turnovers. Where do you want to begin to tackle where the improvements need to be made? And so for that, I'm interested in seeing what Desmond Ridder can offer, especially with a strong Browns team coming into town. Now, this might be a trap game. Atlanta coming off a win. Cleveland coming off a very emotional win against Pittsburgh on Thursday night. Might they kind of overlook the Falcons? Say woke on it. But if you guys are looking for a Falcons YouTube channel for the entire 2022 NFL season, make sure you are subscribed because the more subscribers we get, the more studio time Falcons Today gets here at Chat Sports. That's just the way it works. So make sure you have clicked that big red button and subscribe. All right, switching gears here. Let's talk a little bit about what Seattle was able to do because they came out firing and the offense was moving with ease at the beginning of the game, but that was a good adjustment to see from Arthur Smith and company in this Falcons defense, where they only gave up 3 points in the second half. All in all, this is not a Falcons team that people are expecting to make a run in the NFC South and make a legitimate playoff push. So even in a season where some people might want to tank for the first pick, if you can stack on some wins in these 50-50 games, that's going to set a culture of we're not going to be losing franchise here in Atlanta. We're going to win some of these gritty, close games. Sure, it was the Seahawks, and they're not a very threatening team. But at the end of the day, for Atlanta, you didn't want to start off the season 0-4, 0-5, and really let this get away from you. Big win for Arthur Smith. Now, if you want to make some wins of your own, you can make your bets and make those winning bets at BetUS. Falcons cover today, and head on over to chatsports.com/betfalcons. When you use promo code Falcons125, they're going to hook you guys up with awesome deals, like a 125% deposit bonus. So make your bets right now all season long at chatsports.com/betfalcons and use promo code Falcons125 to get that great deposit bonus. All right, kind of final thoughts here as we wrap things up and let you guys enjoy Sunday Night Football, Broncos, 49ers. One thing that was a bit of a bummer for the Dirty Birds was, not a bummer, opposite. I was about to get ahead of my skis there. Bucs lost against the Packers. Could not pull off the 2-point conversion. Green Bay's defense denies Tom Brady and the Bucs. So are the Atlanta Falcons a legitimate team to make a push in the AFC South right now after 3 weeks? Probably. NFC South, probably not. But, hey, a win is a win. You get to enjoy the week a little bit more. There's nothing worse than your team losing on Sunday, and then the whole week is just a mental gymnastics trying to talk yourself into winning the next week. No, you ride this confidence at home with Cleveland coming into town. It'll be a fun week next Sunday for the Falcons and the Browns. All right, that's going to do it for us here on Falcons Today. I appreciate everyone for tuning in, making us a part of your day. If you have not subscribed, make sure you go ahead and do so down below.